Let's get started. I'm sorry about that. First thing, if you don't mind, liking and sharing this video, that would be very helpful. The second thing is if you could subscribe on YouTube, that would be very, very helpful also because it helps me reach even more piano learners across the globe. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. The next thing is if you haven't joined our private Facebook group, I recommend that you do so. That is where you get the one-on-one interaction with me, your piano teacher, and you get to ask me questions and send in videos, and we get to work through those tricky spots in your songs together. All right? And last but not least, I am on a platform called Patreon, right? So Patreon is fantastic because it really helps me as a donation-based studio collect a steady income throughout these really interesting times that we're in. So you just browse and see what tier works for you, and then you can help support these lessons that I keep bringing to you guys every single week. Let's get started on our songs then, right? All right, let's see how it's gonna go. We are going to begin with our review of our Good King Wenceslas. So kids, if you want to pull out your lesson book, let's go ahead and turn to page 44, okay? Page 44. Yes. All right, let's see here. Let's see if anybody's watching. Yes. Oh, good. Okay. All right, wonderful. I see you guys on there. Sorry about that. Yes, wonderful. Okay, very good. So you've pulled out your lesson book now, okay? Go to page 44. We're going to do Good King Wenceslas, okay? So a little bit talking about this one, right? We had that really interesting part with the dynamics changing every single line. We have our slurs. We have a lot of interesting stuff happening. So let's see if we can get through the whole song. I'll switch to piano view and we'll play it together, okay? Let's do it. Okie dokes. Oh, yay, 7 friends watching. That makes me so happy. Okay. Of course, that happens on a day where I'm having technical problems. That's funny. All right, here we go. We're going to begin with our finger 4 on our F in right hand. And then we have our finger 2 when it comes in the left hand in the third measure, okay? So let's count off and we'll do it together. 1, 2, ready, play. Excellent job, everybody. That was like super great. Congratulations. You have passed Good King Wenceslas. You ready for a 1 second party? Let's do it. Ready? 1 second party, 1 second party, woo! 1 second party, 1 second party, yeah! All right. That was really great. All right, now let's keep the same energy. I'm so proud of you for getting through that. Or let's put that energy into the rainbow, right? So the other song we had gotten last week was the first half of the rainbow, right? So the first 2 lines, okay? It's a nice andante tempo, which is like walking speed, right? It begins piano and with an incomplete measure. So that's something that we have to be very aware of, okay? Now, I saw some really great videos of you guys playing this piece in the group, the first half of it, and it's sounding very lovely. So I can't wait until you get the rest of the song today. It's going to sound even better next week, okay? So let's go ahead and analyze the first 2 lines of this piece. I see really big slurs, right? Nice slurs, like a big rainbow across the sky, right? Nice and smooth. It's piano. It's 3/4 time. So let's see how it goes, okay? It has a very interesting exploration of the melodic intervals in the right hand. So let's check them, okay? Let's go ahead and do it. All right, so here we go. We are going to be in the middle C position again, my friends, okay? It begins with the finger 2 on D for your right hand. And then in that second measure is when your left hand finger 1 thumb comes in, okay? So let me count off and let's play the first half of this song. Are you ready? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, ready, play. It, right? You got the first half of the song. Nice job. I hope that was fun for you to play, okay? Now the second half, it's even more exciting, okay? There's some really cool stuff happening, all right? Take a look at line 3 for your first example. We have a very long crescendo across the entire line. When you reach the end of the line, it's a nice strong forte, right? But there's something else at the end of that line too. Do you remember the fermata sign? Here it is, right? So the fermata is super duper special because it's like music's equivalent of a theater dramatic pause. So something is happening, right? A dramatic moment. Oh my goodness! Right? You have to like hold that feeling of surprise or shock or suspend time for a while, right? So the fermata is music's chance to do that dramatic moment, right? Where you stop time for a little bit. Kind of looks like a rainbow too across the sky. If this was the sun, yeah. Or sometimes I like to pretend it's an eyebrow with your eyeball and you're just like, ooh. Right? It's very silly. So there's your fermata, all right? We're going to encounter that at the end of that line 3, okay? And that means that you're going to hold that for longer than its value, okay? So you as the performer get to decide how long you want to hold it, okay? That's up for interpretation. That's your choice as a performer. Typically, I like to hold things for like 2 or 3 beats longer than what's written. And then when it comes back to the piano at the end of line 3, the tempo has changed, right? We started with andante, walking tempo. But look, it says adagio at the end of line 3. So that means we're going to be switching to an even slower speed, right? So we're thinking at the end here like snail slow. Okay, super snail slow. Nice adagio. And the dynamics have changed too. We ended that crescendo with a strong forte on that fermata, but then it switches to piano. So piano and adagio, extra slow. There's a lot of interesting stuff, like I said, right? Now, let's see if we can go over that third line together, okay? I want you to go ahead and put your hands in middle C position. And let's see if we can figure it out together, okay? Let's do it. Okay. So, I have my middle C butterfly position. I've got both my thumbs on C. I notice that line 3 begins with a middle C in my right hand. So my finger 1, right hand, will be playing 3 C's. So I'll go ahead and do that. Then the second measure has both of our finger 2s on B and D. We're going to play that. And then on the third beat, we play our D again. The next measure has us going up 1 step in the right hand to an E, and a 1 and 3 harmonic third in the left hand. E, and then we're going to skip our right hand up to finger 5, G, and go down a step harmonically to fingers 2 and 4 on B and G. Yes, doesn't that sound amazing? All right, let's try that sequence again, okay? Because that's a kind of tricky one, okay? I'm going to count off, and let's see if we can play it together. 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. C, 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 D, B, D, E, up to G, and there's that fermata. We're gonna hold it. Wow. And then it lets go. And it comes back with the right hand pinky 5 on G piano. Excellent work! Look at that. We're playing like a fabulous line there. Isn't it very dramatic? So I want you to put a little more drama in there, okay? When you reach that fermata, I want that to be the moment that something wonderful happens, okay? Maybe it's the moment you find the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. You never know, right? All right, let's switch back to piano view. Let's do it again. Line 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. Getting a little louder. Oopsie, I'm going to stop right there. I was thinking that we were in our Good King Wenceslas. Did you hear? I did a B flat in my left hand. That was not right. Let's try that again, and I will make sure I'm not on the B flat, okay? Sorry about that. Here we go again. All right. Starting with our count off, finger 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. Getting louder. A little bit louder. To the loudest. Wow. Coming back quiet. Beautiful job. That was so much better. Yes. Very, very good. Now, let's keep going, right? Let's see what's happening in the last line, because there's a lot of weird notes. I'm not going to lie. Lots of weird notes happening in that last line. But if you know your flats really well, and you know how to read between the treble staff and the bass staff, I think you're going to do a very good job. So let's see if we can figure it out together, okay? Note by note. I'll switch to piano view. Okie dokes. So we're there in the middle C position again, okay? We just got done playing a finger 5G at the end of line 3. At the beginning of line 4, I notice we're just one step down from G, so that's a finger 4F. Now we're going to skip down to a 2. That's usually a D, but it says to flat it, so we're going to do a D flat. Now, left hand finger 3 is on A, but it says to flat that one too. So I'll play an A flat. Then it says to play finger 3 in the right hand, that's an E. Down to finger 1, because that looks like a middle C. Left hand finger 4 on G. The third measure begins with the finger 2 on D, then 2 on B left hand. Skip down a third to a G, 4, and on a C with a fermata. Ooh, and then we have a 3 and a 5 harmonic third in the right hand. And again, we're going to hold it because you see that fermata sign at the end there? How wonderful. Okay, now that was a really tricky line. Let's see if we can try that again, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. 4, 2, 3, 3, 1, 4, 2, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. Now that was really pretty. I like that part a lot. It's just, you know, sometimes when they throw in some weird notes, they do that for a reason, right? They want the listener to be, their interest to peak, right? They want them to feel like something special is happening at the end of this song. And I really need that listener to listen, right? It's perfect for the audience, right? It's a little element of magic or surprise at the end. So let's see if we can play that last line once more. And I'm going to say my note names this time, okay? Excellent. Let's do it. All right. Starting with our finger 4 on F, let's give this a really good try. 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. F, D flat, A flat, E, C, G, D, B, G, C, and G. Now that was beautiful, okay? So I think you know what you need to practice, right? So for this week's practice on the rainbow, I want you to focus on those last 2 lines. Get them just as good as the first 2 lines, okay? So for next week's lesson, we can play the whole song all the way through. It is such a beautiful song, and I know you're going to do an amazing job on it. So keep up that really hard practice, okay? But you are going to get a new song today. So let's turn the page, everybody. All right, now on page 46, we have a new song called Good Morning to You. I love this song. It's such a good one. So Good Morning to You is actually really nice because it's sort of the last song that we learn that is before we start learning a faster or quicker note. So it's going to be very, very fun next week for piano, okay? This week, though, because this song is a middle C position, butterfly position song, it shouldn't be too tricky for us, all right? So let's see if we can figure it out together. Now, let's analyze before we start playing anything, okay? I want you to look and see if you can find the time signature. Do you know the time signature of this song? What's the time signature? If you said 3/4 time, then you would be correct. Now, what is the tempo of this song? If you said allegro, you would be correct. Yes. Now, does this song begin with an incomplete measure? If you said yes, you would be correct. And which hand begins this piece? Is it the right hand or is it the left hand? If you said the left hand, you would be correct. All right, so we did a lot of really great analyzing in here, right? Now, I noticed that a lot of the melody is in the left hand, okay? We have a few notes and a few little harmonic intervals in the right hand, but that's really about it. I also noticed we have some fermata signs, okay? There are 3 fermata signs to be exact. So can you find them and can you circle them for me? I'll do mine too. Okay, so I found my fermatas. Let's see if you found your fermatas. Did you find them? They're actually all on the last line. Do you see them? There they are. Excellent. So go ahead and mark those so that you know that's where you get to have a little bit of freedom. All right? Now, let's see if we can switch to piano view and let's learn our notes. Okay? Let's do it. All right, my friends. Let's get started. We've got our thumbs on middle C in our butterfly position, okay? Like you noticed earlier, it begins with the left hand in an incomplete measure. We are very lucky because they gave us our finger number, which is our finger 4 on low G below middle C, okay? So it begins with that G, and then our first time when it comes in the right hand, it'll be a 5 and a 4 harmonic second, okay? Let's play it nice and slowly. I'm going to say my left hand note names. Ready? 1, 2, 3, ready, play. G, A, G, finger 4, down a step, both of them to G and E, C in my right, finger 2s on B and D, then a C, fermata, with a 3rd fermata. Wow, now that sounded pretty nice. I like this song for you guys. Now, you noticed I held my fermata out for a really long time, didn't I? That's okay. I am the performer, right? So I chose to hold it extra long. Now, when you play it and you perform it, you get to choose if you want to hold it extra long or just a little bit longer, okay? Now, most of this song is not entirely tricky, but there is a really tricky part at the end. I think the whole last line is probably the trickiest part. Now, if you want to go in and write those note names, I would recommend doing the ones that are really giving you trouble, right? I think we should probably play this song through probably 1 or 2 more times so that we feel a little bit better about it, okay? How does that sound? All right, let's do it. Here we go. All right, so I've got my thumbs on middle C. Here it is. Oops, we're having some, there it goes. There we go. Hopefully that's not giving us too much trouble. Let's play Good Morning to You once more. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, ready, go. G, A, G, C, B, with a second. G, A, G, all the way to D, then C, 3rd. G up to G, E, C, B, A, fermata. A with an F, then E with a G, C, D and B, C, E and G. Very nice. Now that was very, very good. I can already tell it's improving, very, very much so. Yes, it's going to be a really nice song for us, okay? Did you notice that it actually has a blank on the last line? Do you see that? You know, a lot of our songs have lyrics to them, right? And this one being Good Morning to You, it has lyrics to it, right? So it's good morning to you, good morning to you, good morning, dear someone. Good morning to you. So you can think about someone special in your life, right? So like maybe you want to play this song for your grandmother. That would be lovely, wouldn't it be? What about your neighbor or your best friend or your dog? That would be so funny, right? You could totally sing and play this song at the same time, right? Now, I'm not going to require you to sing and play at the same time, but this is actually a really good opportunity to try and work on something like that, right? Yeah, it's really kind of fun. So, I'm going to say my cat's name, okay? His name is Simon. He's so cute. So I'm going to say Simon, and I'm going to play Good Morning to You once more, but I'm going to sing the words as I play, okay? See if you can keep up too, okay? Here we go. All right, this is gonna be great. And I get to sing to my kitty cat, Simon. He's so cute. All right, so I'm gonna start with my finger 4, left hand on the good, okay? 1, 2, 3, ready, play. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, dear Simon. Good morning to you. Now that is super silly. Like I said, though, you get to sing to whoever you want, right? You can play it for anybody. So take that liberty and maybe learn this song and play it for somebody that you think is special in your life, okay? It'll be lots of fun. Excellent work, everybody. You are done with your lesson book, so you can close it, okay? Next, we have our theory book. But surprise, there's no theory this week. Ha ha! Surprise, I tricked you. No theory, so you can put it off to the side. There's no extra work today, okay? That's pretty much it. It concludes our lesson. Let's go ahead and talk more about Patreon, right? So if any of the grown-ups are watching, I'm sure your children are having a good time with my piano lessons. We really try hard. I know I definitely try hard to create an environment that is fun and engaging and just something to keep your child hooked on learning, right? And a lot of that is dependent on the relationship between the student and the teacher, right? Now, talking about student-teacher relationship is really hard in a virtual setting, right? But I'm really trying. So I want to remind you of my Patreon page, right? So if you're ready to make the commitment to me, a financial commitment in providing lessons, I would love to have you, right? So I have recently introduced a new tier, okay? This tier is at $90 a month, but it includes 2 private piano lessons with me every single month, okay? It's a very limited tier. I have 3 students at that tier already, so I only have 7 spots left on it. So if you want, this actually makes a really great holiday gift as well. You can just, include private piano lessons with me by signing up for the Patreon tier, order your books, and just get started, right? For Christmas, right? I mean, Christmas is coming up, so it might be a nice gift for your child or even for yourself. Obviously I teach adults too. So check out patreon.com/IzzyChia, and you can just see what works for you, right? I have tiers as low as $3 a month, and now all the way up to $90 a month, okay? Thank you so much for all the support. All right, last but not least, we have our music quote. And today's music quote is really cool. It comes from the German creative director and fashion designer, Karl Lagerfeld. And this is what he says. Music gives color to the air of the moment. That is so true, right? Like, music is, when you get this idea of what music would look like, or the sounds of what it would look like, I always think of like bursts of color, right? Lots of colors and, splashes across, in front of you, and maybe the ground turns like a bright gold color and everything's just sparkling and really, really excellent, right? I really get that feeling when I hear a really awesome song come on, or I hear a musician playing, right? Sometimes if you live in a really big city with like a subway system or a train, that you see the musicians in the subway busking, like they've got their drums, they've got their violins, they might be singing, they might be, playing a really cool saxophone. It really just introduces so much color into the air, right? It's magnificent. So, I'm so glad that we could have that quote today. Karl Lagerfeld was a very colorful fashion designer as well. So, it's very fitting that this quote comes from him. So, thank you so much for joining me today for our piano lesson. We had a great time. I appreciate the support that you've all been giving me. Go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the private group. Take care.